Hey, welcome hard hats and iron workers fans. It's the big guy Scott Farrar. It's Mike the Grand Poobah Perezzini. I hope you can hear me because things are kicking off in the Excelsior pub. And I think Mikey's rocking out right now. How you doing, Mikey?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back at, Excelsior. Gonna get ready to watch a game. I already got my, Uncle Charlie Utica Club, pride of, New York. So I'm looking forward to a good game.
Nice. I'm looking forward to a good match, too. I'm really excited. We have an OGs team who upgraded in the offseason and was looking really good. They came off a big win in week 1. Week 2, they had a bye week. We're now on to week 3, our second home match. Really excited. Mikey, do you have the rosters in front of you?
I do have the rosters right in front of me. I am prepared. So let's go over Old Glory first, and then we'll do Rugby New York. So starting for Old Glory at number 1, we got Jack Ascaro. 2, Nick Sochin. 3, Ramiro Herrera. 4, Appy Nakatini. 5 is Tevita Nakali. 6 is Otoro Bavaro. 7, Corey Daniel. And 8 is Jameson Fananano Schultz. 9, you got Danny Tusitala. 10 is Joaquin Diaz Bonilla. 11, Penny Lascaya. 12 is Fermin Martinez. 13, Threaten Palamau. 14, Marcus Young, and then 15 is Kurt Baker. And then for the bench, you have Facundo Gaddis, Quinton Newcomer, Callie Martinez, Colin Gross, Finton Coleman, John Lafarve, Mike Ulas, and Graydon Bowd. That's rounding out your Old Glory DC team. As for Rugby New York Ironworkers, you got Chance Lucy, Dylan Foss, and Sam Davies up front. Nate Brakely, the captain, and Hamish Denzel are going to be your locks. Brad Tucker, Brendan O'Connor, and Carol Pryor are the loose forwards. Connor Buckley getting the start again at 9. Jack Heighton is moved to 10. Ed Fido at 11. Jason Emery at 12. Tengan Hori Walden at 13, Fasi Fuatai at 14, and Andrew Coe at 15. So mixing it around a little bit with the back line, which I kind of like. As for our bench, you got Caleb Geiger, Tevita Langi, Pago Haini finally making it back. So good to see Pago, making the bench. Charlie Hewitt, Enrique Quiteros, Eamon Matthews, Sam Windsor, and John Powers. And so it's rounding out your Iron Workers for this matchup.
Yep, I think we're going to match up well with them. I'm going to see you guys are going to want to watch the Herrera Winglutsky matchups in the past. Herrera, their big Argentine that they signed for DC, showing up late, coming into the season, starting this match. Him versus Chance is going to be that epic battle. We're going to watch Nick Mayhew not on the roster today. I know he checked out for an HIA last week. I wonder if he will pass the test at that point. And we got a ton of wind here already. So kicks are going to be going crazy. We're going to talk a little bit about the weather later. So I think up front for us, Sam Davies getting the start, rookie getting the start there against Iscaro. Listen, Sam Davies is not new to rugby, but these are some big boys up front, and I think he's going to show what he can do. This is how you pick him up. Tavit Delaney on the bench to back him up. I think I don't know. I think up front, Mike, it's kind of even in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely feel like Old Glory definitely made some adjustments and brought in some great players up front. They are coming off of a bye. They're still one of the only undefeated teams left in the MLR. They're looking to, continue that, especially after I can say is, dismal seasons in the past. And so, definitely some major upgrades in the pack, which has been one of their weaknesses. This game, I think, is going to come down to whoever can spin the ball out and gain the yardage amongst the backs. It's going to be a back battle, and you're definitely going to see, the magic that Danny Tusitala has come out. Hopefully, Connor Buckley and Jack Heighton can get a good connection going and get those yardage. We're going to have to see. I think Ed Fido is going to have a good game for us, really making those yards. Andrew Coe as well. You've seen what Andrew Coe's done. We've kind of slept on him too. Everyone talks about what Ed can do, what Ed can do, what Ed can do. But Andrew Coe definitely has been the silent hard worker amongst this back line, making those nice runs. So I think it's going to come down to our forwards match very well. I think it's going to come down to the backs and who can kind of make those breakthroughs and come on through there.
And piggybacking on what you're talking about, it's going to be who on the defensive side in the back line can make the tackles. With Jameson Fountain on a self there at 8, he's captaining the team. You talk about James Kusatala and Diaz Bonilla. Is that 9-10 combo for OGs is really upgraded. They're syncing well together in that first match. We all know James Kusatala can break a run, and you have to be careful, especially in those A gaps. You don't want to get lazy and then make sure you're not covering that A gap. We talked with Damon Matthews on Thursday, and that's how he scored his try last week. Is there was some ill discipline in the A gap, and he got to jump over and do it. So, man, and Phil Harris calling you out, Mike.
Yep.
Life certainty, death practice, and Mike not going to a home match. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Love the banter. But yeah, I think going to the backs offensively and defensively. Who's going to be the most disciplined? Ball handlers. Who's going to be the most disciplined when they're making their tackles and then causing havoc in that breakdown? Kicking is going to be a factor today, as you guys saw before. My camera almost fell over. It's very dusty. There's no constant wind. It's very, very dusty, about 25, 30 miles an hour. The sun is shining. The venue's great. It's a nice feeling to be in the sun watching this type of match. You talk about Pago returning in the reserves. Right now I'm seeing Con McManus on a crutch, which is never a good look. I also saw Joe Basser wearing his equipment today. Not sure if they made a change in that back row and Joe's going to be available, or if he's just, helping the guys warm up in his gear. But he seemed taped up, which was odd to me, him not being on the roster. The backs have that big pack right now. They're going over their pre-match plan here. I kind of like you said, I like the break up a little bit of how we're getting there. Andrew Cole, fullback for Rugby Canada, has a boot. We know he has a boot. Very good with the high ball. He'll go up to find that letter and get it. We have depth at the fullback position, even though Troy Lockyer is still out. Nick Heat, another guy not on the roster, can play that fullback position along again with Andrew Cole. And as we saw last week, Jack Heighton can play that position as well. Also, Seth Wins, we have a lot of guys who can play fullback. So, a lot of depth in that back line. I think what we need this week is Ed Fido just to get through some tackles. He breaks a lot of tackles, but the last 2 matches, I feel like guys have been really concentrating on getting him down one and done. And we've seen a couple more breakthroughs.
Absolutely. You're talking about the weather right now at Mount Vernon. I've got the weather up. It's 51 degrees Fahrenheit, so an incredibly warm 51 degrees. And the wind, it says, is 19 miles an hour. And so I think you saw Toronto having some kicking issues, sending some sailing balls last week. You might have that issue again this week. We've seen OGs in the past have that issue where they're outside their own 22 and kick it out on the full.
Wow. They told me I'm not allowed to. They said the track. They said the track at my thing. All right. They're asking me to move some position here, and camera position has been moved. Look at that. It's good to have friends. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Although last week you do have to remember when we're talking about Toronto, their fly half option was like the emergency goalie of fly halves. Poor guy didn't have any experience at fly half, really. So I got to be honest, a lot of his kicks did sail, and that was just because of what Toronto had to go through to get to field the team last week. So, I think it's going to be a little bit different, obviously, with Diaz Bonilla and Danny Tusitala. We know Danny is, he's the best of both worlds. He can give you that box kick, he can give you that run, and he can get the ball out, right? So I think his box kicking, if he can make targeted box kicks, and they can have a good kick chase, which we know OGs do have a good kick chase, can cause havoc for us. We just need to play our game and limit the mistakes. I know that sounds simple, Mikey, but sometimes that's harder done than said.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially considering, how many mistakes we had in, the red zone these past couple games. We won last week's game, by a lot, but it could have been so much more. We did have so many times where we were inside the 22 and we had, mistakes, we had penalties, guys going in without support. we can't make these same mistakes against Old Glory because they will punish us and we won't be able to score with them. So I think it's really going to come down to making sure we get into that 22. And once we get inside that 22, can we finish? And it's not just going for threes, which is fine every so often, but making sure we could, we can finish and get some tries.
Absolutely. And I think we got to talk about R9 on our side here. Connor Buckley is a great box kicker. I mean, that's what he did at Iona. That's what he has done for us in the past. And I think if he can pick his spots and get a nice box kick, a high box kick with a good chase. Again, we have guys who can climb the ladder.
Lost the big guy for a hot second. Let's see if we get him back. But as he was saying, Connor definitely does have a great 9. Been able to move the ball incredibly well. Here he comes. Let's see.
There we go. I'm back, Mikey. This is what happens when you're in a live venue. What I was talking about is if we can pick our box kicks carefully, we got guys who can climb the ladder. A guy like Hamish doesn't even really need to jump 7 feet tall to go up and grab it. But what we need to work on is our set pieces. We got stopped inside the 5-meter line quite a bit the last two weeks. So we need to make sure our rolling balls are getting that push forward they need, or we're running that big pop pass coming across through that ball. And again, we just have to work on our defense, make sure our gaps are straight, make sure our tackles are one-and-done tackles, and fixing that breakdown problem that we had the past few weeks.
Yep, absolutely. So do you want to do scores?
Yeah, let's do some scores, and then what are we, like 10 minutes from kickoff?
20 minutes from kickoff.
Okay.
So I got New York by 5. What did I say earlier in the week? I said over 30. I'll go over 40 is going to be the combined score. So over 40 combined score, and the Ironworkers by 5.
Over 40 combined, yeah. I was good with. I still go with that 5 score. Like I said, 3 for home field and 2 because it's going to be tight. That's a conversion right there. I don't think that's unrealistic, in my opinion. Over 40, I'm not so sure. This might be a slugfest. It might be 12 to 10. It might be 15 to 10. So let's go, baby. We got Nikki and the Rooney staff cheering me on, getting the field prepped and ready. We're almost ready to go. 20 minutes. We got the steak truck here. The line for the steak truck, Mike, out of freaking control. Unbelievable. We also got the swag. So you see in this shirt right here, this hoop shirt, this old style rugby shirt right here. What we got right here, guys, is something you can only purchase at the stadium. I was gonna say, and get the good Rooney swag.
Looking real good. Looking real good.
Thank you very much. I mean, this is what we need to do. This is the kind of atmosphere we want to have. We got the hang going out over at the beer garden with the food trucks. We got beer provided by Stout and Stout NYC, providing all that good beer. We have a great set of fans here. They had the swags flowing. Everybody's wearing their Rooney gear. And shout out to my friends Sue Park and Sue Delgado, traveling from OGs. Matt Duma as well. Brought a bunch of people on the bus. We all tailgated together. We had a big OGs Rooney tailgate. It was a ton of fun. This is what we want to do to set it up, especially before the bye week. Everybody, this has been another preview episode of Rooney Match Day 3, week number 2 at home. Man, this is honestly, I'm still having the same chills I had last week. This is a great venue, doing great things here. Protect this house, baby. I'm the big guy, Scott Ferrara. That's Mike the Grand Poobah Parazzini. We'll see you guys next Thursday for our weekly show, hopefully reviewing the big win by Rooney.